Hey everyone, Chris here again. Wanted to do a quick review on my new bag for travel, the Evergoods Civic Travel Bag 35 liter. Let's get right into it. Tell you what I love about it, a couple things I don't like about it. And just to preface this is a new switch for me coming from using the GoRuck GR2 for travel for the last 5 years or so. And I still love that bag. It still has a place in the stable for me. It'll probably turn into a truck bag or a go bag just to have ready to go, or a gym bag. But in terms of usability and how I feel while I'm using this bag on planes, trains, and automobiles, I just think the Evergoods Civic Travel Bag is the better fit for me. And I would say mostly from a material standpoint. I've got the GoRuck down here. It is a great bag. It's beautiful in its own regard. Honestly, I probably like the shape of it a little bit better than the Evergoods. But the deal breaker for me is the 1000D Cordura on there, how rough it is. And honestly, some of the features of it, I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't like the tactical look of the MOLLE webbing on the front. I'm sure it has its uses, but I'm not gonna throw some ugly, external pouch onto my bag and disrupt the beautiful silhouette that they carefully crafted. And then this slant pouch on the front, I found virtually unusable just because it doesn't have its own volume. And so when this bag is packed out, it's extremely tight to try to get in here. And this is where I ideally, or would try to put my phone and my passport after I went through TSA or security, wherever I was in the world. You kind of reaching in, trying to extract it back out. And it wasn't a great experience. I don't want to sound like a wimp or anything, but reaching into a bag this rough and trying to fish out little pieces of kit just wasn't for me. But it's bomb-proof. Quite honestly, this bag looks just as good as it did the day I received it from GoRuck. So kudos to them on building a great bag, and I'm still gonna use this periodically. But when it comes to travel, I guess my travel needs are a little bit more practical. I don't need to be crawling through rocks and rubble, on business trips. So I can have a face fabric that is a little bit easier for me to work with and to feel against my skin. And it's just those little things that add up on a long trip when you're tired that I think really do help tilt or help stack the odds in favor of the Evergoods here. So the face of it is similar to all of the face fabrics on their updated bags, at least for the Civic panel loaders, but it's this 820D nylon 6, I believe they call it. But wonderful fabric. It's a solution dyed, so it's a little more environmentally friendly if you're into that. Getting right into the bag, it's set up very much like their Civic panel loader series. Obviously, it's a next of kin for that lineup, but with a couple key differences. And one of the biggest right off the bat differences for me traveling is having water bottle pockets. These side mesh pockets, they are extremely tough. They're extremely deep and really stretchy, so I feel like I can put anything in here without fear of tearing it. It's swallowing a 1 liter smart water bottle here, no problem. And recently I took a trip with my family to the Philippines, and we have 3 kids, my wife and I, and trying to do it with the GoRuck without any external pockets to put water bottles or the millions of other pieces of crap that kids find that they have to bring with them was kind of a struggle to fit all that internally in the bag. So having these as kind of stash pockets, especially for water, maybe keys, phones, whatever it might be, in a pinch, I think these are a game changer for me and really increase the utility of this bag in a realistic travel scenario. So getting into the pockets on it, you've got your standard front loading pocket here from Evergoods, similar to their Civic panel loader series, identical really. So in here, I'll put any quick access items I might need prior to the journey. So I've got a field notes notebook, which goes with me everywhere. I don't use it much anymore, mostly in favor of using an iPad. Right now I have a business checkbook with me, but that won't probably go with me most of the time. But the most important thing is my passport. So I keep that right up there because first thing I do when I get to the airport, I'm checking in, going through security, and I'm gonna need this guy. So it's handy dandy in there. We'll shove it all back in there and I'll clean it up later. And inside here, we also have there's a little zippered mesh pocket right in this front loading pocket. And so I find that that's handy for me to stash a little air tag in there, a couple business cards, and some spare cash just to get me through my journey. I always bring a lot of cash with me on trips. You never know when it might come in handy. And American Green usually speaks wherever you are in the world. So just keep that in mind. So that's the front pouch. It has its own dedicated volume, which is a departure from the GoRuck that we talked about earlier. And so I find this to be extremely useful. It's a very functional pocket. So one of the main differences between the Civic Travel Bag series and the Civic Panel Loader series is this single front pocket here that runs behind, or I guess right on top of that front pocket. So if I turn it, it's right here at the top. And this is really nice. Right now I have a pair of AirPods in here, but what I tend to use this pocket for is right after I go through TSA, I'm taking my phone out of my pocket. iPhone 14 fits in here no problem. And then closing that up. And sometimes, depending on if they make me take it off through TSA pre-check, I'll drop my watch in there as well. The better place for the watch is probably, honestly, in the top pocket, which is present, the quick access pocket on every Evergoods bag, it seems, at least the Civic Travel and Civic Panel Loader series. But you've got one up here, and this is just slightly more protected. So in here, I've got a pair of sunglasses. I've got some Oakley Holbrooks in there. Polarized always. Let's drop that water out of the frame. I've got my wallet and a pair of keys. So, you know, I end up parking the car at the airport, come in here, I can clip my keys to this little lanyard that they have in there, a little leash. Everything else goes in, and this would be a great place for my watch as well, provided I was careful and wasn't getting them scratched up with the keys. Those are the two quick access pockets here on the Evergoods Civic Travel Bag series, the classic top quick access zipper, and then the second one here next to the front panel. So exterior wise, the styling on this guy is really nice. It is quite large at 35 liters. I do feel like it packs larger than 35 liters. You can fit more in it than you'll think. And because of that, you do get, it's quite a large silhouette here, especially the fact that, you know, it tapers down at the bottom and then flares up at the top. I'm 5'6", 5'7" on a good day, and this bag does look pretty big on me. I'm not super concerned about it. I'm not here to win any fashion shows. I'm just, you know, there to travel and get where I need to be. And so I think it still looks pretty good. You have your pretty typical Evergoods side grab handle here. It's not a full-length grab handle like you have on the Civic Panel series. It's just halfway, but I feel like if you grab it pretty close to the water bottle pocket, it lifts fairly well. And I have this bag loaded down pretty heavy. I'd say it's about 12, 15 pounds right now. You also have your top grab handle, which is plenty stout. These handles are always really comfortable to grab the bag by, and I do love having the ability to grab it out of overhead bins, out from under a seat, in a car or trunk, from multiple angles. Just makes accessing the bag so much more pleasant. Spinning the bag around, you've got Evergoods' new back panel here. It's a super breathable 3D mesh. It's supposedly abrasion resistant, pill resistant. All of the backings that I have on my Evergoods bags have held up really, really well. I've been very impressed with them, and this seems to be no exception. They did include a luggage pass-through here for, you know, to slip the handle of your hand carry through, or your roller bag. I don't tend to use these much, just for the fact that my backpacks tend to weigh a lot when I travel. I definitely am on the side of overpacking. I don't know that one bag travel is ever gonna be my style, just because with kids, there's so much to bring. Even if I'm traveling myself on business, my motto is always to, you know, better have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. So I tend to bring more than I need, within, you know, reason here at least. So I haven't used this with a heavy bag. I just find that my small roller bags tend to tip over sometimes. So that's why I have backpack straps, and that's what I use. The Civic Travel Bag 35 liter does come with hip belts, and those are jammed up inside here. I've actually never taken them out, so maybe we'll do that, maybe we won't. But they've got them jammed up in there, and that would probably be my one complaint with the bag. I really don't think that hip belts are necessary for this kind of a bag. You know, it's not going to be the best bag to load up with weight and ruck out, you know, on long hikes or things like that. Just that, you know, mountaineering packs are built better. They're built lighter for that purpose. This is definitely more of a dedicated, in my opinion, urban travel bag. and because of that, you know, I don't need the hip belts. They're just adding to weight. And what I found is that the bulk that they take up behind this back panel, which is shared by the laptop panel here on the side, it makes that laptop and tech panel there much tighter. So trying to get my 16-inch MacBook Pro and my iPad 12.9-inch in there, it's definitely not as easy as it is on my other Evergoods bags. So if it were me, I probably wouldn't keep them. I probably wouldn't have included it. I may cut them off still at some point. I don't know, it depends on if I ever want to sell the bag or not, but that's what you've got. So again, Evergoods is standard, and which I find to be absolutely fantastic, very breathable back panel with their extremely comfortable shoulder straps. Now, these shoulder straps are significantly narrower than the GoRuck straps. And on this bag, again, another con of this bag is its overall weight is quite heavy. It's base weight. I want to say we're pushing 4 pounds on this bag. And so, you know, it's probably not the best choice either for some international travel where your backpacks are actually weighed, and they're pretty strict about that. I think 7 kilos is often the limit, so you know, you're taking up a good portion of that with bag weight alone. And so when you do have this thing fully loaded out, if you're filling every nook and cranny and taking up all 35 liters plus of it, I have found that these aren't the most comfortable straps. The GoRuck is definitely more comfortable to carry heavy weight in. Again, I'm not transiting extremely long distances. It's very rare that I'll have this on my back while traveling and not have the ability to take it off and rest a little bit. So one knock, but again, life is a game of compromises. And so, you know, I think these shoulder straps work 96% of the time. And so I feel like that was a reasonable compromise. I feel like the hip belt, which might be used less than 5% of the time for most people buying this bag, was probably not the best design decision to include. But you know, the Evergoods guys seem to really think about their products, and so perhaps I'm just not using it in the intended way, and they might have a better use case for those hip belts. But all in all, I think we've got a really nice, really sleek silhouette. Again, the material just feels so good. It's smooth to the touch. It feels good on your skin, on your arms. That's one thing when I take the GoRuck off my backpack, if I have a short sleeve shirt on, it's just super abrasive on your skin. Again, not trying to sound like I can't handle the pain here, but you know, you're taking a bag on and off 20 times a day, and you're already hot and sweaty, and it's been a long travel day. It's the little things that start to really piss you off. So with this bag, I guess I just get slightly less irritated, which everybody around me probably thanks, or everybody around me is probably thankful for. So getting into the main compartment of the bag, again, clamshell opening just like most of Evergoods' Civic Travel Series and Civic Panel Series, or most all of it, I guess. Open it up, and again, you have their standard internal liner here. I believe this is a 210D nylon. It's extremely robust mesh, really easy to see and visualize what might be in there with a great zipper on the side. Typically what I'll put in here is snacks when I'm traveling, beef jerky, protein bars, things that help me make better eating decisions when I'm on the road and it's hard to find good nutrition. So that's what tends to live in there. You've got their nice admin panel here up top, which is really nice. Compared to the Civic Panel Loader series, there actually is some organization within here. So you've got a couple pockets to help separate it out. In here, I tend to carry a really large microfiber cloth for my gadgets. I carry some allergy medicine wherever I go, you know, nasal spray and some eye drops. Put those back in there. I also keep the shoulder strap that comes with the bag in here in case I do need that. In case, you know, I get somewhere and I am going to take this out on a hike, that would be great to have. So this panel has plenty of space. You could shove chargers, keys, whatever you needed in here, it would work great. The main panel of the bag here will just kind of show you what we've got in here and what it can fit. This is, I would say, packed out at about 75%. I could easily add more to this bag. And the zippers would handle it and it would be fine. This is just what I'm typically taking on a trip. Again, I don't practice one bag travel habits, so I'm not extremely meticulous or judicious in what I'm packing. I just tend to bring with me a couple days in the bag in case my main luggage is lost. So this way I can live out of it. I can attend to any meetings or any functions that I had planned as a priority for the trip. You know, I could function out of this bag for an indefinite amount of time. if I had to. But again, it's not the way I truly pack out my bag each time I go. But something that goes with me on every trip, regardless of where I'm going in the world, is Arc'teryx Atom LT jacket. This thing, I live in this. Get one of these. It will change your life. It's a beautiful soft shell. We should talk about it in another video. But it has enough of a DWR coating that, you know, in all but the heaviest rainstorms, it's going to keep you fairly dry. Not for an extended period of time, but just a quick, you know, a quick shower, it'll help you out. It's soft, it's comfortable, perfect for an airplane, perfect for whatever you might run into, and anything but the coldest climates, it's going to be fine. I've just got a couple packing cubes here with some pants, some shirts, pair of jeans, whatever I might need, casual, and usually one dressier type of outfit, again, in case I need to go out to dinner that first night and luggage didn't make it with me. Got another packing cube with more of your toiletries, your underwear, things you might need, pair of running clothes, and I usually try to wear running shoes on my feet when I'm traveling so that I've got my exercise gear with me. And then usually I'll put in a pair of boat shoes or some smaller dress shoes in here too, again, in case I need them that first day. And then the other bag I have in here is a Evergoods Civic Access pouch, 2 liter, which has been fantastic, and I'll do a review on this soon. But all of my tech gadgets, chargers, memory sticks, memory cards, whatever I need, it lives in here. So that leaves us, and some socks for my daughter. That leaves us then here with just the empty main compartment with your standard Evergoods MOLLE loops here and the expandable mesh pocket that you could slip a tablet, magazine, books inside here. So plenty of volume. Again, I have got this thing far from full, so it packs out quickly. Big fan of packing cubes if you're not using them. Definitely pick some up. I don't think you need to overspend on these. They can get pretty expensive from fancy brands, and I'm sure they do have their advantages, but the cheap pairs you can find online, you know, they're light enough. I don't want a heavy material anyway because I don't want it to add to the overall weight. So nice and easy on the packing cubes. Don't overthink it. Just use them. I think they will change your travel experience. Throw the jacket on top. Throw it over. Again, Evergoods includes these beautiful little, I guess beautiful is not the word, but handy dandy little pull tabs at the bottom that'll allow you to exert opposing pressure on the zipper so that it can close nicely. They don't even distract from the overall aesthetic of the bag. And I actually completely forgot to talk about the front here. And you've got Evergoods' classic Velcro, I guess it's sort of an exposed Velcro loop logo, super subtle, completely agrees with my style and design philosophy, so I love that. It's just no real outward branding on the bag, which is absolutely great. Last pouch that we need to talk about, or pocket that we need to talk about, is the laptop compartment. So I'll turn it over on its side here for you. Open it up. You've got yourself, again, your typical Evergoods laptop compartment. And here I have a 12.9-inch iPad, which has a decent amount of heft for what it is, which adds significantly to the overall bag weight. And I carry a fairly large laptop as well, the 16-inch MacBook Pro from 2021. I think at some point I'd like to downsize to a 14-inch, but the 16-inch screen is really nice for photo and video editing on the road. So I tend to keep this, but it's fairly stout, pretty heavy. And again, because the shoulder strap or the hip belt is taking up room behind this panel, this laptop compartment I find to be quite a bit tighter than my other Evergoods bags. It's still completely usable, just not as nice of an experience. So one thing to consider there. So yeah, that's pretty much rounds out the Evergoods Civic Travel Bag 35 liter. They also make this bag in a 26 liter bag. I think that would be a fantastic option. I don't believe that one comes with hip belts, so it'll help to alleviate some of the issues I'm complaining about here on the laptop pocket. But you're gonna get all the same great pockets, including this top quick access pocket and the mesh water bottle pockets. So you'll get almost all the advantages with, you know, sacrificing a little bit of volume, but again, that might be the perfect travel companion, especially if you're planning to bring an extra roller bag with you on your trip. And outside of just airline travel, I think this is a great weekend bag. Bring it all the time up to my cabin. I can load it out with camera gear, and that's, you know, definitely for a 3-day trip. Plenty of clothing can just fit in one bag here. So it's got everything I need. You know, I feel like I can just throw it in the back of the truck and this thing is going to be good to go. So very much a multi-purpose bag, not just a dedicated travel bag. You know, this can be certainly an EDC bag for people who carry on the heavier side. I myself tend to try to strip things down a little bit when it comes to just everyday carry. So it's a little bit of overkill for me there, but I think it's just fine. You do have quite a bit of extra material when the bag's not packed out. So it has, I guess I would say, a sloppier look than the 24-liter CPL or the 28-liter CPL, but that's just natural, right? Like they have to put enough fabric on here to allow us to put 35 liters or more of gear inside. And so when you're not using it, you're definitely gonna have a little bit of extra. So, you know, with that said, I think it's just fine to plan on using this bag as your everyday bag on the go. Whenever you get to your destination, you know, take that out, unload it, just keep what you need for an adventure, and this would be just fine. It would even allow you to carry enough stuff to support the kids, you know, the wife, whatever you need to do for the day, so that you're the only one carrying equipment and possibly losing it wherever you are. So great bag for that, multi-purpose, it's awesome. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this provided you some useful information on the Evergoods Civic Travel Bag 35-liter to help you make a smart purchase decision. Again, definitely check out their 26-liter bag. I think it might be a great blend between all the features of this with a slightly smaller package, which can always be handy for traveling. So enjoy your travels wherever they may take you. Have a great day.